We have our Batman, we have our clues to the Rick Grimes movies, and we have a Magic the Gathering series. We're talking about all of that and taking your questions, all coming up live. I'm Brandon Davis. You are watching Comic Book Now. Well, hello, Comic Book Nation. Welcome to Comic Book Now. Chris Killian is here. He's starting to fire with his hands, all that friction. I'm Brandon Davis. It's good for the microphone, I think.
Oh, yeah. Was I doing it right?
I need to give you some kind of crap to start the show.
That's okay. I don't mind.
Anyway, call me BD, guys. We have a cool show today. James McAvoy and Michael Fassbender will be here in the studio. No, I'm just kidding, but they will be on the show. And we have big news. The big news, you can finally stop asking us one question. Finally, I'm so happy. Chris, what question can they stop asking us?
Who is going to play Batman? It's a question we've been hearing for like 2 years now. Every week, who's going to play Batman? Who's going to play Batman?
And I don't know. I never knew. We had our picks. We told you our picks every week. And then Sky Patterson dropped a bunch more picks in the comment section. We appreciate that from you, buddy. But we finally know. We officially have our Batman in the form of Robert Pattinson. And guess what, guys? I am so on board with this casting. I can give you a million reasons why, but I'm just going to go with two. Mm-hmm. This weekend, I watched Good Time.
Yes.
And I watched The Rover. And Robert Pattinson, I never watched him in Twilight. I never watched Twilight. He is, so I didn't have a bad taste in my mouth, is basically what I'm saying. Everybody seems to be like, this guy sucks, Twilight. I watched those two movies, The Rover and Good Time. The transformations he makes as a person, one of them, he plays a criminal on the streets of New York accent, manipulative, almost bipolar in how quickly he can transform based on who he's trying to manipulate. And then the other one, he plays, a post-apocalyptic, southern fried, not the most intelligent, heavy southern accent, like criminal who is, both criminal roles, but both play that dark side. But they're such different roles, nails them both, brings a lot of emotion to both, perfect timing in both. And I thought he was great. And I think, so you do Twilight to get on the map in Hollywood, right? And then I think his agent says, you know what? We need to break the Twilight stigma and show what you're capable of. So he goes off and he does a couple of artsy indie films like this, knocks them out, and then someone watches them, i.e. Matt Reeves, a man I trust as a director with his casting picks, and he says, that's my Batman. And you know what I say? That's my Batman.
I don't even think that it was an agent call. I think this is a Robert Pattinson call. I mean, he seemed to be one of those guys that fought back against the system when he became like a sex symbol after Twilight, or a tween symbol, whatever whatever you want to call it. He seemed to fight that. He disappeared for a little while, and ever since he's come back, he's made really interesting choices as far as an actor goes.
Right.
I mean, he's been in so much stuff that nobody's even seen, and I think he's great. I think he's a great choice.
I agree. I mean, I was one of the people who hadn't seen Robert Pattinson act until this weekend. I'll be honest with you. And I mean, Harry Potter, I watched that years ago. I'm going to rewatch the Harry Potter franchise. I don't think I've watched all of the movies ever. I'm going to rewatch them. Let's get that out there. But also, that was so long ago, I don't even remember.
It was like the first thing he was ever in.
I had never seen Twilight. I had never seen any of these A24 films that he did. And I tweeted that, and so many people started telling me, you need to watch this, you need to watch this, you need to watch this. So Good Time and The Rover were two of the films that were most highly recommended. This week, I'm going to watch The Lost City of Z. He's in that.
Watch Water for Elephants.
Water for Elephants.
Great.
I'm going to watch a lot of Robert Pattinson's movies. And I'll tell you why. Now I'm just a fan. I think he's a great pick. Matt Reeves knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
So he picked this guy for a reason. And the GIF, Warner Brothers hasn't gone out there and said anything yet, which I don't really know what they're waiting for, but Matt Reeves has. So I trust this guy. The director went on Twitter. He dropped just a couple of bat emojis on Twitter with a GIF of Pattinson. So if you had any doubt that this casting was going to be official, you can calm down, take a breath. And he tweeted, this is all the confirmation you need. And that image there, it's a GIF. It's from Good Time, which it's very R-rated. It's it's a visceral, very criminal-driven, intense film. It's not for everybody. If you have kids, I don't suggest watching it with them. But it's a good film, and it's just The Rover as well. And also, The Rover, Guy Pearce is in that, and he does a great job too.
And let's not forget, he's got an excellent jawline.
Yeah.
I mean, that's important.
That's
so
true.
that's the most important thing. Everybody that's freaking out about Robert Pattinson as Batman, I feel like the worst of Batman already happened with George Clooney. So,
Randy Nickel, I wonder if they're getting paid to upsell Pattinson. Who's paying? This is my job. I'm getting paid to be here.
I wish Warner Brothers was paying us.
Trust me, if I was getting paid to upsell Pattinson, I'd be doing a hell of a lot of a better job. I trust Matt Reeves. That's the bottom line. Look at Matt Reeves' resume. Has he made a bad movie? He made monkeys the most interesting characters in movies in 2017.
I like Matt Reeves. I'm with you. We agree on this. 100%.
Why are people so negative?
I don't know. It's not like there's going to be nipples on the costume.
Your name is Bingabudu says shameful casting. I want to know why. I want to know what movies you've seen with Robert Pattinson in them. In
the last 10 years.
Yeah,
you know
besides Twilight.
Besides Twilight.
When I started talking about this on Twitter, I didn't share an opinion on the casting really, other than I support Matt Reeves' choice because I trust Matt Reeves, because I hadn't seen Pattinson in anything, and the only thing I knew him from was Twilight. And obviously I was like, Twilight. So I went and watched a bunch of movies, and I thought he was great. I really got on board. Amanda Myers is on board. Megan Bone says, your jaw is much better, Chris Killian. Can we get a close-up on that jaw? Can we can we tighten up here a little bit, maybe? Chris, come on. Look at that. Oh, look at that jawline. Oh.
Did you like that?
Watch out, Pattinson. Oh, look at that. Chris, little profile. Give us a little profile here. Oh, yeah.
It's like, you like that little ear there?
Say it one more time. Look straight into the camera.
I'm Batman.
Watch out, Pattinson. All right, that's enough of that. On Wednesday, I will be able to share my thoughts on the Dark Phoenix movie as the review embargo lifts, basically in the middle of the night. But for now, you can hear about the movie from a couple of its best stars. I had the chance to sit down with James McAvoy and Michael Fassbender. Check this out. I think you guys were brilliant together in this movie and in previous films. And this is a relationship with your characters, Eric and Charles, that is really deep-seated in the XMen world. I'd like to start by just hearing you guys kind of present your take on where the relationship is in this movie.
It's pretty bad. We're not in conflict, but I think they're both a bit over it.
Yeah,
you think?
I think it's kind of that thing of, it's like checked out a little bit from the friendship, at the beginning of the movie for sure. It's like, okay, look, for me, I still think that Charles is Eric's best friend.
Yeah.
And I feel, there's a sort of weariness to the same sort of debate, and it's like, okay, you're never going to see my side of the story. I'm off doing Genosha, and I'm happy here, and this is kind of the best compromise I can come up with. I don't think Eric's the kind of guy that compromises a lot, but he's sort of settled with this idea. Okay, at least we have a state, a land that we can sort of create our own laws and rules, and we can sort of live in safety. But there's also an element that if he was in trouble, that Eric would come to him, because he doesn't forget that what Charles did for him.
They kind of, I can relate to it just age-wise as well, just being like, knowing I've got relationships that they'll always be in my life, that we care about each other, we look after each other, but I just don't have the energy for the shit we send at each other. Do you know what I mean? I just don't have. I can't be bothered. I can't be bothered. You know what I mean? But if anything was going down, we'd help each other.
Exactly.
And we love each other.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting. This is the first time I think that we see Charles almost take on a villain role, kind of. He's at least framed that way to an extent. What was that like for you to kind of read that was the direction we're going, Charles?
It's great. I've always thought that Charles is Achilles' heel, or potentially massive Achilles' heel, huge Achilles' heel, is his vanity and his ego, and that definitely is what is getting in front of him, I think, in this film. And that's expressed on a kind of geopolitical scale, what he's become. Instead of this teacher, leader, healer type figure that he's always been in the past, he's a politician.
I was about
to
say, he runs for president.
Yeah, he's probably got an eye on that.
Yeah.
Head of the UN, something like that. He's a politician, and he's more concerned with the message than the application of that message. And it was fun. It was really good to see that actually get investigated.
Yeah, I love the scene with the helicopter where, you sold it to you, acted your, can I say ass? I don't know. You acted your ass off, man. it was brilliant. I'm curious, what is the direction like on set? How do you, it actually left him. What is the direction on set? How do you bring that scene to life?
Just go for it. It's like, it's a helicopter, try and move it. How does one do that?
Don't act it, just do it.
Yeah. So, I think with a lot of these scenes, it's just about sort of full commitment and taking it to maybe its furthest point, and then, bring it back. Never bring it back. And sort of, just commit. And I wanted to show that Sophie had a lot more power there, so she's very gracefully doing these movements, and I'm like, gonna bust a vein, you know. And I wanted to show that surprise with him and the real struggle, because we know that at this point he's a very powerful entity into himself. So if she's doing it with such ease and he's struggling so much, you know, you're dealing with something phenomenal.
Last night, Fear the Walking Dead returned for its 5th season, but it came with a huge clue about those Walking Dead Rick Grimes movies. The helicopter that Rick flew off and didn't make an appearance yet, but the 3-ring symbol on it sure did. One of the characters found an armored walker and investigated its stuff and things, discovering that same 3-ring logo on all of his belongings, including a map. Maybe that's important. So on Talking Dead, showrunners said that a few months have passed since Fear Season 4 finale, but it's entirely possible Fear is still behind that 18-month time jump that came after Morgan left Alexandria, before Rick flew off in Season 9. So with that in mind, I have a clip I want everybody to just listen to, all you Walking Dead fans who are watching right now. Just listen to this clip really quickly.
Rick! He blew the stuff to hurt!
Now, okay, we're going to play that one more time, but this time I want you to keep in mind Morgan is on Fear the Walking Dead. Dwight is joining Fear the Walking Dead in the next couple of episodes, and they will be with Alicia, and they might be somewhere in the timeline before Rick was picked up, and they're connected to this group somehow now. So listen to it one more time.
Rick! He blew the stuff to hurt!
I'm just saying, I'm thinking maybe those are the voices of Morgan, Dwight, and Alicia on the radio when Rick blew that bridge. Possible, maybe. Let me know what you think in the comment section, or send me your thoughts on social media. Next up, Magic the Gathering. The directors of Captain America the Winter Soldier, Captain America Civil War, Avengers Infinity War, and Avengers Endgame are producing a Magic the Gathering anime series on Netflix. And this just serves as a great reminder that it is a great time to be alive. In a statement, Anthony and Joe Russo talked about how big of fans of Magic the Gathering they are. We're not going to read the whole thing. All you have to know is they really are fans. And the few details which have been revealed indicate that the series will follow the recent Planeswalker stories, which are coming to an end in the current block of card games and novels. Netflix made the announcement on Twitter, and we all probably lost our collective minds, for lack of a better word. And finally, from the rumor mill, Keanu Reeves is reportedly being sought after for a role in Marvel's The Eternals movie. So that's exciting. The cast currently includes Angelina Jolie, Kumail Nanjiani, and Richard Madden. And Millie Bobby Brown totally acted like she is totally not involved when asked at a Godzilla event, so she probably totally is involved. So this is one hell of a cast coming together. As for who Reeves is playing, we don't know yet. I personally am kind of hoping the multiverse pulls John Wick into the MCU, and maybe all the rest of his characters, like let's get Neo in there.
That'd be the best thing ever. Johnny Utah.
Woo!
Yes, the guy from Speed.
What?
Woo! We did it.
That wasn't even rehearsed.
No, we didn't practice that.
I know. I love this. I love how the Eternals is recognizing that this is a very obscure property, right? And so they're putting A-list talent in it to start getting
They're padding
talking.
it for sure.
Yeah, I mean, look at what they did with Guardians of the Galaxy. You throw Vin Diesel and Bradley Cooper and Chris Pratt in there, and although 2 of those 3 aren't in it, their names are, and people start to talk about Guardians of the Galaxy, and then it's just a really good movie.
They pay a little more attention.
It helps. It was a really good movie, but it helps the movie be successful because of those names.
But I would love it if it's just John Wick. That would be the best thing ever. And then we could have John Wick against the Punisher. Who do you think?
John Wick wins that.
Yeah, John Wick would probably.
I don't know. I just feel like the Punisher never dies. Anyway, now's my favorite part of the show.
We're gonna do questions.
How's that sound through the mic? Questions, comments, Q&A, concerns, complaints, throw them in.
Let's see what we got here.
Utah, Brad Burek is on the Johnny Utah. How much do you think Dark Phoenix will make in its opening weekend, says Reese Williams?
So they're projecting like 50 million, which is the lowest amount of that any X-Men movie's made so far.
I think that's fair.
You think that's going to be about it?
I think this movie is just going to kind of come along and go along quietly into the night.
It is too bad. The X-Men's been around longer than the MCU. I mean, so they should be getting a better send-off than they're getting, but it's just
I'm treading carefully because I can't break embargo. I can't say anything about the movie.
Yeah.
But I just think the movie is just going to kind of come and go. I don't think it's going to like it's make too many headlines. It's not gonna. It shouldn't. I can't say anything, but I think it'll just be right there in the middle of the road. $45-50 million. It might underperform a little bit.
It's been hurt by a lot of things too. Apocalypse wasn't that great. It wasn't that well received.
Was not good at all.
And then the Bryan Singer stink has hurt it. So there's just a lot of X-Men's in dire need of a reboot at this point in the MCU, and I think people are just looking forward to that rather than kind of cherishing what we're losing.
And what kind of sucks is that the X-Men franchise right now is not without some high points.
No,
like Michael
definitely.
Fassbender as Magneto is great.
Yeah.
Steals
the show every time.
Every time. And I mean, Days of Future Past was such a home run, and then it's followed by Apocalypse.
Yeah.
And then this comes along, and thoughts on Wednesday.
We'll see, but yeah, I'm thinking about 50 million.
I think it might underperform a little bit.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so.
That's rough.
Why was Venom so bad?
What? Did somebody say that? Why was Venom so bad? Well, there was no Spider-Man, for one. There's that.
We got into an argument in the office where there's the conversation where the rumor that Sony wants to have Venom in Spider-Man 3. Mm-hmm. So they want Tom Hardy's Venom in Spider-Man 3. So if that happens, if Tom Hardy is Venom in Spider-Man 3, then the Venom movie that Tom Hardy already starred in
is in the MCU.
Yes.
That's, of course.
The office here was telling me I was wrong.
Well, they're wrong, so they can shut up.
So, the Venom movie wasn't very good.
No.
Tom Hardy as Venom, I really enjoyed.
That was the highlight of the movie. His relationship with Venom was the best part of the movie.
So, if Tom Hardy is Venom in Spider-Man Home 3, comes home for the third time.
Homeward bound.
Spider-Man home run, he joins a baseball team.
Yeah.
Then when I watch my MCU rewatch for Avengers Endgame for real this time, and that's in the stack, just like the Incredible Hulk.
That's how that works.
Yeah.
That's if
his origin story.
If it's Tom Hardy and he's Venom, then it's connected. There's no way that you can.
Megan really has a crush on you, Chris Killian.
No.
Why are you so cute?
I think that is
I'm Brandon,
not
by the way.
case.
Hi.
What else have we got? Any news on the New Mutants film? Is it? Is it even coming out?
What is that? Never heard of it. It's delayed again.
Yeah.
And again and again. I mean, I don't know if it's going to come out. If they gave it a release date, if Disney gave it a release date, I imagine they're going to release it.
I really wouldn't be surprised to see if this goes to one of the new streaming services to kind of
I could see that, but I don't know why they gave it a release date if that's what's going to happen. I don't think Disney would put it on their release schedule if they were planning to just pull it. They very well might, but I don't know.
Right. Let's see. Brad wants to know, do you want to see Robert Pattinson's Batman become a part of the DCEU if it is any good?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to see a good story be told. And I'm one of the people who didn't hate Justice League, for the record. I didn't hate that movie.
Yeah, we're not on that together.
Yeah, I mean, you can hate it. That's fine.
I hated it.
No, it's not a good movie. I had fun watching it. I had fun watching those heroes together. But I really would like to see. I want to see if Robert Pattinson's Batman movie is good, and it has to be good on its own. It has to stand on its own, just like the Dark Knight trilogy did. And it can have the other characters come in and out. You can have Jason Momoa come in for a scene as Aquaman. Like, Batman has a relationship with these characters in the DC canon.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you're going to start fresh, start fresh. Aquaman kind of distanced itself from all the Justice League
But don't
movies.
you think that brings itself to a problem where we had old Batman and Ben Affleck, and he's connected with all these characters, and then we have young Batman and Robert Pattinson connected with the same characters? It becomes too convoluted, and then you're like, what's going on? I think that they're going to be better off.
They're just going to play it loose.
I just feel like they'd be better off keeping Robert Pattinson's Batman as its own standalone thing, which from what I've understood, that's the plan, right? It's a trilogy.
So you want to see then Aquaman movies and Shazam movies and Batman movies, and they never overlap again.
I don't mind them overlapping, but Batman's one of those outliers that's kind of like, you've already had Batman in there, and so now it's this new Batman who's not even the same age as previous Batman. It's not like they've recast him.
I agree.
He's a whole new character.
But like, I'll forgive it. I don't care.
Yeah.
At this point, I just want to see good movies, and I want to see good DC comic stories being told. If they are telling a good Batman story in a trilogy of films, and there's just, it organically calls for Batman to call up on Aquaman for help, or for Batman to encounter Shazam, or Wonder, organically, I'm not going to say, this movie sucks. That wouldn't have happened that way because Ben Affleck's Batman.
But I do think it's a distraction. And not only that, but so if this is a standalone Batman, and we've got Jared Leto as part of the DCEU as Joker, and now we've got Joaquin Phoenix in his own Joker standalone film set in the 80s, where he's clearly like already in his mid-40s, and not going to be a part of Robert Pattinson's Batman, then that means we're going to get a third Joker possibly, if the Batman's not connected to the DCEU.
As long as it's not Jared Leto. I don't care.
I don't know.
It's tricky because they don't want to fully reboot the franchise because Aquaman is successful and Wonder Woman is successful. You have Birds of Prey coming. You have a Shazam sequel coming. Shazam wasn't hugely successful at the box office, but it was a really good movie. And that word of mouth is only going to help a sequel do better. So you don't want to fully reboot it. You can't. You can't lose Momoa and Gadot and Levi.
Yeah.
Batman will stand just fine on his own. I would like to see these characters interact again.
Sure.
Especially now that
I would love to see
hitting a
Justice
rhythm.
League get another chance.
They just have to find a way to make it work.
Yeah.
Maybe Batman's in a multiverse. I don't know.
I don't know. It's a headache, though,
This
for
is
sure.
all such
This
a-
is movies.
We
the
lose
movies.
one question about Batman, we gain 59,000 more.
The movies are going to become as confusing as the comic books themselves.
They're probably already beyond that.
You think?
Well, they're going to be.
Yeah, they're going.
What is
to
this,
be.
an Elseworlds Batman?
Yeah, I don't know.
What happened to Ben Affleck's Batman in the world of Jason Momoa's Aquaman?
I'm just gonna go back and watch Michael Keaton be Batman over and over again. That's.
Yeesh. Do you think
Put it in the
Spider-Man Far
past.
From Home is introducing multiverse or Mysterio is just messing around? Both.
Yep.
I think
same.
both.
I think both. I'm with you on that. Because I mean, that's the whole point of his origin. Is he's kind of a liar and paints himself to be something he's not. So I don't think he's from a multiverse, but I think that they're gonna figure out that the existence of a multiverse is there.
Megan, are you related to Chris Killian?
That is my cousin's wife. So unless there's some scandalous stuff going
This
on that
checks
I don't
out.
know
She said it
about.
must run in the family then.
Yeah.
I think that's a compliment to your cousin.
He's a handsome
what-
guy. He's pretty handsome.
Well,
Isn't it? His name's Gary and his last name's Bone.
Megan,
so.
by the way, still Brandon. I'll be here all day. Ryan Wilberger, why do you guys think who do you think the new big bad will be in the MCU? This is where we'll wrap it up. Who do you think the new big bad will be in the MCU?
I don't know who I think, who I'm hoping is Doctor Doom.
Yeah, Doctor Doom is who I hope for. I think Dormammu is a possibility.
Yeah.
But now that Galactus can be there, I
Yeah.
don't think Galactus is like a Avengers Endgame type of big bad. I think he's kind of like an event film type of big bad.
Yeah.
Ultron.
Well,
style.
to me, they've already gone like above and beyond cosmically, right? With Thanos. I mean, you can't get any bigger than Thanos. So I would like to see them scale it down and be a more local threat in Doctor Doom.
Yeah.
I think he would be the
Where
best.
he's really
best choice.
manipulating his way to ruling
Yes.
the world. I also think we could see Kang the Conqueror soon.
Yeah, that's true. He could maybe be on the level of Thanos.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Might be an Ultron level too. Anyway, who do you think, Ryan? But obviously, our vote is Dr. Doom. Binga still going on the shaming Robert Pattinson. Binga, it's okay to share your opinion. It's also okay.
It's okay to be
wrong.
jealous of that jawline.
Yeah. Oh, let's see what Binga's jawline. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to look at your jawline. Thank you so much for watching Comic Book Now, everybody. We do this every Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Share the show with your friends. Don't text and drive. Wear a seatbelt. And spay and neuter your pets. This is Chris Killian. I'm Brandon Davis. We'll see you next week.
Go on, go! Listen to me! Go! Get out of here! Go! Go on!
Get out of here! They're coming! They're gonna kill you! Get out of here! Come on! I hate you! Get out of here!
Can't you see I don't watch anymore? Just get out of here, you stupid, dumb animal!
Go on, get out of here! Get away!
Get out of here! Can't you see we don't want you anymore? Why can't you go back where you came from?
Don't you understand, Yella? I don't want you anymore! I wish I never found you in the first place! So go on! Get away from me!
Go! Get out of here! Don't you understand? Get! I don't want you anymore! Get!
Go on. Go!
You get home now. Shoo! Go on! Go home! Mom will never let me keep you.
Run to freedom. Go! Go! Live your life!
I don't want you around anymore.
Scram! I said take off! Beat it! Let's go!
Go on. I don't want you anymore. I don't like you. I never did. Go on. Go on, you dumb old hamster.
Now go on. You heard me? Go on. Go on, Scram. Go. I hate you. Go. Ah! Ah! Go back to your kind.
Come on, Steve French. Come on, now look. This is for the best, apparently, so you're gonna have to go now, so go on, Go on. Get going.